Hi, I'm Crystal Lujan Driving Hawk. I'm a dedicated wife and nurturing mother of 3 with one more precious baby on the way, due this August. Living the small town life I never knew I wanted as a teenager, but always dreamed of as a kid. My passion is helping people. I want to help women and men who are looking for truthful answers. I want to help guide people who are trying to figure out physical symptoms and how they can work directly with a trusted doctor to get medical tests, diagnosis, and proper treatment. This video and its corresponding Facebook group was not created to bully, shame, or embarrass anyone for their personal beliefs. This video's intention is to spread awareness, provide truth and education to those who want it and are looking for it. Please watch this entire video to get all the information, and please share to help spread awareness. I also want to address the fact that I do not want the responsibility of confirming your cryptic pregnancy, phantom pregnancy, unconfirmed pregnancy, hidden pregnancy, or miracle pregnancy. If you're wanting someone to tell you what is happening to your body step by step, I am not that person. I do not confirm cryptic pregnancy. I do not confirm phantom pregnancy. I do not presume to know what is happening to your body. I do not assume that you are experiencing the same thing I experienced. I cannot tell you if you are pregnant or not. I do not want that responsibility. It is not my obligation to tell you what to believe or what to do. What you decide about what is happening to your body, your possible pregnancy, and your possible baby is ultimately up to you. I do not want that responsibility of dictating what you believe. It is your choice and your choice alone. Also, I want to note that it is not advised to seek pregnancy confirmation online from strangers. The only person qualified to make an official diagnosis and confirmation of pregnancy is a licensed medical doctor or licensed midwife. Asking someone online to share their personal story about a hidden baby or pregnancy of years, that person's individual situation may not apply to you. Taking their experience as advice, you two are experiencing the same thing, is not beneficial. In fact, applying someone else's experience to yourself without evidence or medical advice does more harm than good. Also, I want to note that you cannot bully someone into educating themselves and accepting help. They have to come to that decision all by themselves. Providing appropriate support and truthful education about pregnancy, labor, and childbirth is not bullying. I am simply correcting misinformation. Providing information that proves unseen pregnancy of years or a hidden baby for years is physiologically impossible is not bullying or invalidation of your personal experience with any kind of pregnancy. Cryptic pregnancy of years with a hidden baby, as described by the Gilmour Foundation, hurts grown women, and it hurts young women, and it hurts their families. The Gilmour Foundation dangerously induces and enables extended phantom pregnancies that last years and years and years with no apparent end and no baby to spoil after birth because birth never comes. The secret information the Gilmour Foundation spreads is propaganda. The idea that a woman can be pregnant for years without a baby being seen on ultrasound is a fantasy. The idea that a baby can make itself unseen or hide during physical examination and ultrasound is a myth. It's made up to make women who have had phantom pregnancies for years feel better. It's also made up to scam women in other countries outside of the US, such as Africa. This scam is used to enable women into horrible false pregnancies facilitated by a sham midwife, an unlicensed fertility specialist, energy healer, shaman, priest, pastor, or spiritual leader. These fraudulent scams often put the woman's health at risk and promote the evil practice of baby farms and human trafficking. The unfortunate practice of baby farms, human trafficking, is completely horrific, tragic, and disturbing. It also promotes illegal adoption. The women in these countries are giving a baby or babies, depending on the amount of money they spend, ranging anywhere from 1 million to 3 million in Nigerian money. These babies are not the mother and father's biological child, creating all kinds of possible negative outcomes for the baby being illegally adopted in the name of cryptic pregnancy. Some women are using this unfortunate scam for either financial gain and possible worship. Others are using this false idea as a way to pacify their fears of what could actually be happening to them and to their body. it is easier for the women involved to lie to themselves in order to protect themselves from being hurt or wronged. They could be suffering from an undiagnosed condition such as menopause or general infertility, dealing with grief and loss of a baby, miscarriage, stillbirth, an elective abortion or medical abortion. These women could be suffering from complications of birth control or development of a new condition that is preventing pregnancy. Some women also suffer emotionally after giving their baby up for adoption, suffering from birth control complications, tubal ligation, a hysterectomy, loss of one or both ovaries, and or loss of both the ovaries and the uterus. Because these women can no longer bear children, they mourn that loss, which can induce a phantom pregnancy. Any one of the above conditions themselves can make conception more difficult, resulting in infertility or secondary infertility, including believing you are already pregnant. Believing you are already pregnant falsely, this negatively impacts the possibility of conception and can affect a woman for the entire time she falsely believes she's pregnant. Regardless of the reason, promotion and glamorization of the seemingly harmless delusion that a woman can be pregnant for years with a hidden baby is very dangerous for the following reasons. It delays in diagnosis mentally and physically in women of all ages, including teens and female children under 13. Delaying treatment of undiagnosed conditions, exacerbating existing illnesses, triggering new conditions such as infertility, enabling mental illness, psychosis, and further delusion. Enables the following conditions, which is shared psychiatric disorder, mental rigidity, confirmation and information bias, delusions of grandeur, the fanatical belief and faith and narcissistic traits. Delays diagnosis of possible changes in the brain and development of a condition called anosognosia. It's a person's inability to accept that they have a condition that matches up with their symptoms or a formal diagnosis. Your frontal lobe is heavily involved in this constant process of reshaping your self-image, and some mental health conditions can cause alterations in this part of your brain. This causes frontal lobe tissue remodeling over time. It affects the living children's education and understanding negatively, affects the woman's relationship with partner and loved ones negatively, negative impact on the doctor-patient relationship, makes the woman involved more susceptible to financial, physical, and emotional, moral, spiritual exploitation and sexual abuse, promotes medical care manipulation and advice to avoid medical care, both online and in person, by cryptic pregnancy experts who advise women that doctors lie, doctors don't want to help, they won't order tests. If they do, the tech won't perform the test correctly, and general promotion of distrust in the medical community in general. It enables the consumption of unstudied, unknown, and possibly harmful substances, tinctures, and homemade herbal concoctions that could potentially cause adverse or allergic reactions and even death. It perpetuates the false idea that phantom pregnancy only happens to the crazy or unstable, mentally ill, or uneducated. Promotes the disgusting and evil practice of baby farms, human trafficking, and illegal adoption, presented as this new kind of feminine spiritual movement and community. This false sense of sisterhood that ends with complete abandonment when you stop believing. It promotes a cult culture, brings you farther from Jesus, and enables suicide or suicidal thoughts after waiting years for a baby that just won't come. The psychosis that a woman can be pregnant for years with a hidden baby also negatively impacts the medical field and medical professionals in the following ways. It promotes the dangerous advice of avoiding the medical field and medical professionals in general. The cryptic pregnancy experts falsely accuse medical professionals of being uneducated, unreliable, and untrustworthy. It facilitates the illegal activity of practicing medicine without a license or impersonation of a medical professional by the cryptic pregnancy experts online. Promotes the dangerous practice of getting medical advice online from strangers. Makes confirming a pregnancy when the woman tests negative in urine and blood more difficult to distinguish. Makes medical doctors and practitioners skeptical about a woman who is testing negative in urine and blood and requires an ultrasound to confirm a viable pregnancy. makes requesting an ultrasound seem frivolous to the doctor in some locations, as the medical doctor might write off the woman requesting this medical test as having a psychosis related to pregnancy of years or a pregnancy that cannot be seen. Creates the perfect situation for medical gaslighting. Medical gaslighting occurs when a doctor or medical professional dismisses or trivializes a person's health concerns based on the assumption that they are mentally ill. They may tell the person their symptoms are all in their head, for example. The doctor might be reluctant to reorder an ultrasound scan when the woman has already had one done recently or had several ultrasounds done within a few years of each other, specifically put because the doctor is aware of the psychosis of pregnancy of years or the false theory that a pregnancy can go unseen and unproven for years and years. The delusional psychosis of pregnancy that can never be seen makes giving a proper diagnosis or confirming a pregnancy even more difficult for all medical professionals, nurses, doctors, physicians, and all practitioners alike. Makes pregnancy confirmation more complicated in every healthcare setting. The delusion of a pregnancy that can never be seen, but acts and behaves exactly like a real pregnancy, makes it harder to distinguish the difference between a real pregnancy with a real baby and a false pregnancy for any medical professional without further testing. Testing the women deep in the delusion believe won't help them anyway, because the baby, no matter what, just can't be seen, making a diagnosis that's that much more difficult for the medical doctor. Makes mental health and diagnosis more complicated and difficult to treat. The cryptic pregnancy experts, the Gilmour Foundation, and the associated groups spin pregnancy of years as a way for a woman to take back pregnancy, labor, and childbirth. This new kind of feminine movement of sisterhood. In reality, the false theory of pregnancy of years or a pregnancy with a baby that cannot be seen on ultrasound only damages those involved. It complicates and makes pregnancy confirmation more difficult for both women in general and society and the medical community as a whole. In a pregnancy that cannot be seen or in a pregnancy that hasn't been medically confirmed by a licensed medical doctor or midwife, what I've already discussed, the dangers I've already discussed, need to be considered and investigated, as well as the following. What is the benefit? What good comes out of believing you are pregnant for years and years and years without a baby ever being born? After years and years of telling yourself you are special and were chosen to experience this immense pain, fear, suffering, doubt, shame, embarrassment, guilt, humiliation without an end, without confirmation, without the birth of a baby, what good does this bring a woman? What are the benefits of falsely believing you are pregnant? Answer: there is no benefit. It hurts the women directly involved the most, and then that pain spreads outward to those around her, like her husband and her partner, her children, possibly even grandchildren. The hurt spreads to her extended family, her friends, her colleagues, anyone who is observing her. The pain and suffering surrounds and engulfs her entire life. She also complicates and confuses the doctors, nurses, and medical professionals she goes to for help. I want to discuss 10 benefits of a standard pregnancy that a woman with a pregnancy of years with a hidden baby does not get to experience, such as lower risk of cancers, multiple sclerosis, stroke, heart disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and autoimmune diseases. Increased longevity, meaning a longer life, breastfeeding benefits, bonding with baby. Increased productivity, after birth learning to multitask, and energy surges for nesting during pregnancy. Couples get closer and some women have better sex during pregnancy. Increased feeling of acceptance, feeling sexier and are more desirable for example, the often talked about pregnancy glow or clearer skin and overall better body image. Feeling proud of your body and its ability to make and birth a baby. Increased attention from loved ones and more me time, perfect reason to slow down. A pause in periods, easier periods after birth, and possibly even less PMS symptoms after birth. An exciting experience that everyone around you also gets excited for, even strangers. The opportunity to make healthy changes in your lifestyle, for example, quitting smoking or consuming large amounts of caffeine. Opportunity to experience more joy in life and reminder of what matters most in life. Improvement in physical conditions. Some women actually notice that certain medical conditions get better during pregnancy. A boost in mood thanks to increased oxytocin from breastfeeding, helping a woman who has had depression prior to pregnancy feel better. Increased ability to adapt to unknown changes and more flexibility in the body as well as the mind. And so much more. Again, these are the benefits from a standard pregnancy that a woman with a pregnancy of years with a hidden baby does not get to experience. The false statement and the women with a pregnancy of years motto is, if you feel pregnant, you are pregnant. This is cult-like propaganda. For example, the CP experts all have the same approach. They often say, I know, and others especially doctors don't. They claim that they are the only ones who know about this. They are the only ones who can help you. They are the only ones with the history, information, and research. They are the only ones you should seek advice from. They are the only ones with the knowledge of a cure or a way of making the pregnancy turn normal. They are the only ones on your side, and everyone, especially a doctor, that tells you that you aren't pregnant, those people are against you. They don't believe. They aren't educated enough, and so on. The cryptic pregnancy experts portray that they are all knowing about this special, magical, and hidden condition. They also make it clear that they are the only ones who will believe a woman if she claims to have given birth after years and years and years without her pregnancy being medically confirmed via ultrasound. They say, and I quote, don't even bother trying to prove yourself to non-believers because they won't believe you. And they also say, don't bother trying to prove yourself to doctors because they won't believe you. They won't care, or they will lie to you. Identifying as pregnant without medical confirmation is a delusion. It hurts the women directly involved the most, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Development of a false pregnancy can be the mind's way of coping with infertility and dealing with many other medical issues, but denial of this developed condition hurts. The mind's way of protecting eventually, if not addressed, can do more harm than good. You are free to believe whatever you want, but sometimes doing so can bring you more harm than good. Recognizing this and handling it either personally or with a professional help is the most healthy and appropriate options. Hiding behind a delusion is not beneficial to anyone. It especially isn't helpful for the women directly involved. I also want to make it clear that herbs aren't some kind of magical cure for conception and pregnancy. Please understand that in any and all kinds of pregnancy, consuming pills or herbs of any kind are not required for delivery or to sustain a special pregnancy with a hidden baby. The only pill you should be taking in any kind of pregnancy is a prenatal vitamin. If a traditional or spiritual healer, shaman, unlicensed midwife, or private clinic or self-proclaimed cryptic pregnancy expert is telling you that you need to consume a pill or take a concoction of herbs in order to become pregnant, to stay pregnant, or to deliver a hidden cryptic baby that has never been confirmed via ultrasound, this is a scam. Consumption of any unknown substances such as herbs or plants to help make the pregnancy normal or to speed up the process of a pregnancy of years is potentially dangerous and puts both the women and the hidden baby at risk. Any person taking unknown supplements anytime, especially during pregnancy, should be highly educated on the benefits as well as the potential harmful risks, side effects, and contraindications while taking those particular herbs and or plants. Do not just take someone's word for it. Do your own research on each individual herb and plant included in the concoction so you are fully educated on all the risks and benefits from that particular herb and or concoction. This applies when pregnant and when not pregnant. Do not look for or accept medical advice online. Do not pay actual money for something that isn't going to help you deliver an invisible baby or prove your pregnancy of years with a hidden baby. It's a waste of your money and a waste of your time, and these herbs aren't going to make you all of a sudden pregnant or make it so that baby is all of a sudden seen and confirmed via ultrasound. Furthermore, these magical herbs aren't going to all of a sudden poof a baby into existence and then make you deliver said poofed baby. This is a myth, and a very dangerous one at that, because you are exposing yourself to unknown substances that could potentially kill you, impact your fertility, react negatively to medications you are already on, or potentially poison you. All of this risk to bring an unseen baby and unproven pregnancy to life. It's not healthy or a safe option. Buying these herbs from an unlicensed alternative practitioner or healer is risky in itself. If you have a bad reaction or die, that person is not liable for any of it. They just disappear on the internet, delete profiles, and restart with a new profile to continue to deceive, manipulate, and extort other vulnerable, desperate women. The cycle will continue even if you do die or have permanent complications from the dangerous magical herbs. Your family won't be able to pursue a lawsuit for your death or permanent physical damage against some stranger online. If you want to be pregnant, the only way to conceive is to be fertile and have intercourse with a man who is also fertile. Taking herbs does not force conception. Herbs do not make conception happen. Hormones are responsible for promoting fertility, conception, and the pregnancy itself, as well as labor and childbirth. Herbs are not the egg and the seed. Man and women are. Both a man and a woman are required to conceive a viable pregnancy. The right and safe herbs can help nourish the body, but they aren't some magical cure to make a baby all of a sudden come into existence. If herbs were some magical, obscure, secret cure for conception or miscarriage, there would be no such thing as infertility or loss of pregnancy. Unfortunately, this is a fact and reality many women have to deal with in their lifetime. There isn't some magic pill or herb to save their pregnancy when experiencing pregnancy loss, miscarriage, or stillbirth. There isn't some magic pill or herb to help them become fertile and instantly pregnant. There isn't some magical kind of pregnancy that keeps you pregnant after you experience loss of pregnancy, miscarriage, or stillbirth. This is the unfortunate truth. Not my truth, but truth supported by scripture, history, science, and medicine. You as a woman and even mother deserve the entire truth, even if that negates your beliefs or what you have been told online from strangers. It is only appropriate that the truth be available to everyone and anyone searching for truthful, real, and tangible answers, and the information they find to be free from falsified and dangerous propaganda. Harmful propaganda the Gilmour Foundation glamorizes and uses to mislead and extort women online and through email. If you or someone you know is being deceived by the Gilmour Foundation, please take appropriate actions in cutting off correspondence, and please seek out professional help from a licensed medical doctor and therapist. I hope this video helps someone. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or email me. Thank you for watching. I hope you're well and stay blessed. Bye. Want more truthful information? Please consider joining, but you can also just visit my Facebook group. It is public and available to anyone and anyone who wants to read the information. Again, thank you for watching.